So something a little different today, everybody. We're going to take some photos around the Toronto waterfront. Yeah, it's kind of nice. So welcome back, everybody. My name is Steven of Steven and Janaka. Today, something a little bit different. I'm going to walk around and capture photos on the Toronto waterfront using my Lumix G9 and a Sigma 56mm lens. So it's the new lens I picked up recently, and I was just curious to try testing it out and thought, well, why not? Let's do a POV style photo shoot around this frigid, really cold Toronto waterfront. This is about -15 today with a wind chill, so I don't know how long I'm going to be shooting for, but let's give it a shot. Okay, let's go. Now it's really cold, and whenever you're doing photography outside, make sure you always have a good pair of gloves on, because this is key in the wintertime, because we can't discount shooting at winter, because winter has some of the best natural light that you're going to find at this time of the year, because the snow, although it makes things quite bright, it does show a lot of the highlights in the photos. And these highlights are really phenomenal at being able to capture beautiful quality photos. Let's get that pajama down there as well. So yeah, this is, I like to shoot on manual mode whenever I'm shooting with the Lumix G9. It's a really good stills camera, and it's a camera that's not really, discussed enough for the ability of what it can do with stills. Let's see if I can get the CN Tower up here. Why not? It's always a classic look. Yeah, it's not too bad. And today I'm also shooting on this DJI Osmo Action, and I don't shoot with this little Osmo enough, and I'm going to do more of these POV walks around the Toronto waterfront just to showcase what this little camera can do. It's really good for point of view and getting that unique perspective of the first person. So definitely think about picking up one of these action cameras. Osmo Actions, they haven't even changed the model yet, so you can get a pretty good deal on the original OG. Toronto Harbourfront in there. So this is a 56mm lens, and it really does give you a big crop. So you got to take that into consideration when you're getting that depth of field shot view. But the lighting is quite nice here, and I'm getting some good shots here for showcasing kind of the colors and highlights in this snowy day. Where are those ducks? There they are. A bit too far away. A little bit too far away for the ducks. So let's talk some more about depth of field. So right here, we've got a beautiful shot of this staircase with the bulbs in front of Boxcar Social. What I love to do about high focal length lenses is really mix up my depth of field options. So being able to kind of zoom in and zoom out and showcase the range at which the lens can shine here. And of course, as I said before, this lens is almost 112mm in terms of focal length because of the fact that it's on a micro four thirds crop sensor. So a quick disclaimer here, I am really not a photographer. I am mostly a videographer. So photography is kind of a passion for me. It's not really a something I would do ever in charge for a profession. Just because you might be a videographer or a photographer, try and see if you can push those skills to do either one, because you might surprise yourself on what your gear can do. And of course, it wouldn't be COVID if you didn't have a chance to get a COVID sign in the shot. So I always love to shoot in cloudy settings because I find that cloudy settings give the best options for not having overblown photography as well as overblown videography. And that's something that I just try and aim for most of my shoots, is that I love to aim for days that are not blown out with highlights or with other overexposed elements when you're doing your videography. We've got this like rocking beat going on next to me because we've got this, as you can tell, this long line of cylindrical lights here on the waterfront. It's some art piece, and it pulsates light and sound. Kind of funky, as you can see. Yeah. During COVID too. So pardon the rave music that's going on next to me. That's this art installation. Kind of annoying. But anyways, I also love to find leading lines in my photographs. And right now you can tell that these boats and this edge of the dock creates a really cool leading line feature right up and down the waterfront. And leading lines are huge because they really bring your focus point in on the subject, or can establish some wild depth of view with your photography. So look for leading lines because they are your friend. Now, I think one of the other things that you should all do as videographers and photographers is challenge yourself to get outdoors and to take video in the winter, especially during the pandemic if you can. I mean, it's a socially distanced activity. It's not something that puts public at risk. And the cool thing about photography and videography is that everyone's perspective is unique. Meaning that if you have an idea about how you like your photos, it can be completely up to you. If you like certain filters, if you like certain photo styles and cameras and film or non-film, there's a whole range of options in the world of photography. Now, of course, after you take your photos, you also want to make sure you post-edit them. So I'll be brushing these photos up in Lightroom when I get back to my computer, but this does give you perspective of what you can do with a camera. So it doesn't have to be a Micro Four Thirds, it could be full frame, it could be APS-C, it could be all kinds of cameras out there, Canon, Sony, Lumix, Fuji, you name it. Just get out and shoot. That's kind of cool. I like the wreath and the holly and the ivy, a little throwback to the holidays here. So make sure that you get used to shooting with the different styles of your camera. Make sure you get used to changing your shutter speed and your aperture. These are all key to understanding how your camera works, and every camera is different. And knowing how your camera works is the unique perspective of how you as a photographer can develop your subject. So the very first POV walk with the Lumix G9 and the 56mm f1.4 lens by Sigma. This was my first POV walk, and I hope you guys found it interesting and had a chance to stay warm while I froze here on the Toronto waterfront. Please hit that like and subscribe button below, and drop us a line on if you shoot with the Sigma 56mm or the G9 or, well, any camera. And we will catch you on the next POV photo walk when hopefully it's a little warmer. Peace.